What is going on, guys? Lon here from Android Authority, and we've taken a look at the Samsung Gear 2. Now it's time to take a look at its sibling, which is practically the same thing, but there are some notable differences. This is the Samsung Gear 2 Neo. So here it is, the Samsung Gear 2 Neo, and right off the bat when looking at the Gear 2 Neo, the first difference that you're going to notice is the build material. Unlike the Gear 2, which has a metal face, the entire front of the Neo is constructed of plastic, including the home button, and there's definitely some pros and cons to it. The biggest pro being the weight. The actual dimensions of the watch itself is slightly larger than the Gear 2, but it's a little lighter, coming in at 55 grams, making it very comfortable to wear, maybe even a little bit more comfortable than the Gear 2. It still feels very solid despite the plastic, so the only real con, I guess you could say, to the Neo's plastic construction is it doesn't look quite as classy or premium, but I guess that's why Samsung gave us two versions. The other big difference that you're going to notice is up top, and that is the omission of the camera, which to me is more of a good thing than it is bad. I don't know, I guess I'm not sold on cameras on watches just yet, but you do still get an IR blaster for controlling your TV, which is nice. And other than that, the rest of the hardware is pretty much the same as the Gear 2. You still get the same 1.63-inch display that's very bright, vivid, and easy to see outdoors, the metal clasp with textured bands that are replaceable, and the heart rate monitor, just like the Galaxy S5. And also like the Galaxy S5, the Gear 2 Neo is IP67 certified, meaning it is dust-proof and water-resistant for 1 meter up to 30 minutes. The internal specs are no different, with a 1 GHz dual-core processor, 512 megabytes of RAM, and 4 gigs of internal storage. So you can expect identical performance here. It's still just as quick and responsive, and I've yet to run into any performance issues or lag. Also the same is the 300 mAh battery running the show, and I got pretty awesome battery life with the Gear 2, which was about 3 days, and the Gear 2 Neo is no exception. So battery life is still very solid here, but just keep in mind that you might get more or less depending on your usage. On the software side of things, the Gear 2 Neo is running Samsung's Tizen platform, and you'll find very little differences here outside of not having a camera app, but that's to be expected with no physical camera. For better or worse, you still have Samsung's S Voice and their slew of fitness apps that they've been pushing for quite some time now, like the pedometer for tracking how many steps you take, and an exercise app for gauging your running, walking, cycling, and hiking. I do like some of Samsung's included apps though, like Find My Device, which lets you use your watch to find your phone, and vice versa through Samsung's Gear Manager app, considering they're both still connected to one another. And the MIDI controller, which lets you control your music from your phone directly from your watch. And I can't vouch for other third-party music players, but it does work with Google Play Music, which to me is a huge plus. The Gear 2 Neo is available now for $200, which is $100 cheaper than the Gear 2, and that might be all it takes to influence your buying decision. Keep in mind though that just like the rest of Samsung's wearables, the Gear 2 Neo is compatible with only Samsung devices, but it does offer a lot of extra functionality that most current smartwatches do not, and an arguably nicer looking display. So there you have it for the Samsung Gear 2 Neo. If you loved everything about the Gear 2 but you didn't care about the camera and wanted a more lightweight watch, then the Gear 2 Neo is the one for you. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up down below, and also subscribe to the channel as well, which is also down below. And once you're done doing all of that, make sure to check out the site at androidauthority.com for more content. But once again, thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep it locked on Android Authority, as we are your source for all things Android.